What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be taking a look at the Stinger from Takcom knives. Let's get into it. All right, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to do some size comparison, profile comparison. We'll check the weight of the Stinger out, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. Let's kick it off against a couple of folders, because people that probably normally watch this channel are probably more accustomed to me reviewing folding knives. But here in Virginia, where I live, OTFs have been made legal, so I am checking them out, and I'm getting more and more interested in them the more models I come across that I check out. Here it is against the PM3 and the Shaman. As you can see, this is more of the small, medium, small OTFs. As you can see, the handle length a little bit shorter than the Para 3, which I would consider probably same, medium, small. I think the bug out's just a little bit longer than the Para 3 if I recall correctly, but again, just a size reference for those that normally watch the channel that probably are more familiar with the folding knives that I review. Here it is against the Hogue Counter-Strike, and you can see I consider this a full-size knife. This is like the same length as the Shaman, and then against another Takcom knife that I have that I consider more medium, that is going to be the Vigor 2. So closer to the small end, but I wouldn't consider this small, as I can still get a full 4-finger grip. Let's go ahead and check profile comparisons against these two OTFs really quick. And the Stinger is probably going to be just a slightly bit thicker, not a whole lot, and I'll do it from top to bottom, that way you can kind of see it. Just a little bit thicker than the Counter-Strike and a little bit thicker than the Vigor 2, also from Takcom. So this one here, while it is a little bit shorter, it's going to be a little bit more thick on the handle, so that kind of makes up for the grip. Sorry, and I have my HDMI cable for the monitor that I use for the lives kind of hanging out here in the way, so I'm going to move that back out there and reposition the camera. There we go. All right, let's check the weight, and hopefully you're able to see this okay. Oh, it's a little dusty, man, and I just changed the units. Let's go back to ounces, please. There we go. Coming in under 3 ounces, so a very lightweight carry. I like that a lot. All right, let's cut this off, move that out of the way, and let's talk about ergos first and foremost. As I mentioned, I can get 4 fingers on here. You got jimping, so that regardless if you're holding it left-handed or right-handed, it's in the same position. I found I tend to have the switch away and hold it in this position here. It is 4 fingers. The thicker nature of the handle, again, does make it comfortable. So very good size for something that you would maybe want to summer carry. I don't know that this would necessarily fit in a pouch. And I do have my Data Crew Water Slide, which is my favorite pouch currently. And it does have the OTF, the stubby OTF that I have from Takcom as well. This one also being manufactured by Bestech, and I think I forgot to mention that. So no, it's not going to quite fit in there. It's going to be just a little bit too long, it looks like. It stretches it. It's like barely fitting. What it's doing is it's causing it to kind of oval at the top there, so it doesn't necessarily fit like that. But you know, you could just use the backliner there and just hook it in that way and angle it slightly if you really wanted to get it to fit in the pouch. But the manufacturer is Bestech, and I feel like these two here made by Bestech feel like they hit the same, whereas the Vigor being a little bit thinner and a little bit more slender, I feel like this one here is more muted, and I don't know if they've insulated this one more or because this one's a little bit of a newer model, if they did something a little bit different, but it definitely feels like it hits differently than the other OTFs, and I got a little sidetracked away from what I normally do for my reviews, so we'll kind of leave this to the side and stop bumping the camera, and then we will come right back to that. So good ergos, let's talk about the firing mechanism. So you got a nice tall pronounced switch on here. You got good step up here without it being too aggressive of a bite. So what I have found with this, it's so comfortable to operate. It does not hurt the thumb at all. You have a nice teetering point at the top, so you can really move that, and it fires. Hits nice and hard. Good tolerances on here, very minimal play. You don't hear any type of rattling in the open or closed position. So Bestech did a really good job here. Got a little lanyard spot, and I guess it kind of makes sense for the medium one if you wanted it back there to have it. I prefer like what you see here. It's a very tight lanyard hole. Honestly, it'd probably be something very thin that you would be able to use as a lanyard here, but I like that it's just kind of more integrated into the body. I think that would probably just look a little bit better. And probably easier to manufacture too than it is this particular part. Two-piece construction. You got a steel pocket clip, not deep carry, but it is, well, I wouldn't even call it fold over. It's just a flat mill piece of steel that goes right here. It's okay. I think it would have looked a lot better if they would have been able to make this like a black coated, but the downside to that is when you do that, the actual pocket clip will show the scratches a lot more than the polished steel will. So no big deal. It functions very well and I like it a lot. Now, this one is a dagger style blade. I did restock my paper to show factory edge from here. And as you can see with most dagger style blades, they're meant for puncturing, not really meant for slicing. So when you get these, if you're going to want an EDC, you're definitely not going to want to get a dagger. A dagger is definitely more for puncturing tasks. If you want something that's going to cut well, you're going to want to get the Tonto or the drop point. And you'll see with the Tonto or the drop point, it's a lot more slicey than it is for the dagger. Now this one here, I have been using it quite a lot, and it also went through the pass around, so I probably do need to strop that up. But just to show you a drop point really quickly, you can see the Hogue drop point, which hasn't been in a pass around and is one that I do keep up with a little bit better than I have these two. So I guess after this video, I probably need to go ahead and strop these up. You can see that a drop point is going to be better for EDC. This particular blade shape is going to be more for puncturing tasks. So just keep that in mind depending on which one you want to get. Now I wanted to check the Stinger out because I had mostly been checking out the side opening automatic OTFs out the front, and I really have come across a lot. I like the Hogue and Takcom switches the best out of everything that I've experienced. I would say Microtechs are a little bit too aggressive for my taste, but I also think Microtech probably builds theirs with the thought that you're probably going to be wearing gloves and stuff like that with their particular OTFs. Possibly. I'm not trying to justify it. This switch here is very interesting, but it's very intuitive. So I'm so used to this here, you do kind of have to rotate to get to it. And again, you know, I'm just assuming your switch is on the outside here or the open side of your palm to use. The only thing with the dagger, of course, also, you know, I'm not really using this like I do drop points. So this one here is going to be more gripped like so. I imagine too for puncturing tasks, this is going to be a really good position because you're going to be able to help stop the knife from moving for whatever it is that you are puncturing into to get into. And that's what this is really going to be good for. I don't know if they have a Stinger. I didn't check. in a drop point configuration. They may not. It may be that they have this side switch on a different model like that, but this is really cool. I like this. The carbon fiber is just standard drop-in carbon fiber that is twilled. It looks good. I think at this price point, it is fine. I think they offer a G10 that looks wood grain. And it's very interesting with the vigor that they did these mill lines here on the inside G10. I don't know if they did. I don't know why they did it that way. I think it would have looked really good to have this on both sides. To me, this would have been like the best deal on an OTF that you can get. It's 154 cm blade steel for Takcom knives, regardless of what style you like. The Bestech's doing a really good job with the firing mechanism and the build quality. The factory edge is really good on their EDC options, and the grinds and everything are done really well on the dagger. So if you're looking at the dagger here, the grind looks very even. And I feel like even when you come down, it's a little higher up on this side than it is on this side, but that's still pretty good. This side looks dead even from my perspective, and then the grind line looks dead even up here. It looks like it comes, I mean, it's super even. It might not be dead, but it looks really even here, and that's really hard to get done on a dagger style blade. So just some stuff I'd like to point out on these knives, considering you're getting 154 cm on an OTF made by Bestech for under 200 bucks. These are like 170 each, if I recall correctly, like 169.99. That's a really good value. The closest thing that you're going to get to that I feel like is built well is going to be the live wire. That's going to be a USA made OTF from Kershaw, and it is really well done. The Magna Cut on that, I don't think they do it in 20 CV. The Magna Cut on that is going to be a little bit of a lower heat treat. So you're not going to get as good an edge retention as you are, because I think they're doing 61, 62, and I think 63, 64 is where Magna Cut needs to be heat treated for optimal blade, edge retention, not blade retention, for optimal edge retention. Really cool. I like these. If you're interested in a quality OTF, this is going to be a really good starting point. If you're just interested and something really cheap that's not going to be built as well, these Lightning Elites, they're like 60 bucks. They are 440 blade steel. I still haven't stropped this up. Actually, did I strop this up? I don't think I've done anything with the edge, so I think this is still the factory edge. Yeah, this is still the factory edge. Actually, I may have stropped it a little bit. No, this still feels like the factory edge. So, it's a hollow ground blade. It's 440. The build quality on it, I believe these are made in China too. The build quality on it doesn't feel as well made. I don't know if it's because the finish of the aluminum on it just doesn't feel as well made. But again, 60 bucks, so about $100 less if you wanted to check something out just to see if you like an OTF. It feels like it's coming loose. It is. Can you hear that? It's coming loose. So you get what you pay for, I guess, in the end. It's not a very attractive finish on here when you look at the two finishes. This aluminum block here looks really nice. This just looks very cheap, and that's because it is. It's very cheaply made. That's how they're able to get it to you. 440 though is not going to be. It's going to be comparable to like I would say an 8CR, 18 MOV as far as 440. When it's not treated very well, and I imagine this is probably not treated really well. Not like what you would see from like Buck or anything like that. In the end, I'm really enjoying these Takcom knives. I've had quite a few. I've had the Stinger. I've had the Vigor 2. I have the Stubby that I kept for my pouch. And I have had their small variant of, it's not the Stinger. My editor may have to throw it up there. I forget what it was called. Sorry, this is the Hornet. I've been saying that wrong the entire time. The Hornet. The Stinger is the small one that I had. This is the Hornet. So my apologies. I will have to probably edit throughout this video that I've been calling the Hornet the Stinger, but this is the Hornet, and I really like this. This is a great little piece, extremely well built, and I think the price point is really good on this as well. But I'm curious to hear what you think about the Hornet. Do you like what Takcom is doing working with Bestech for their knives? And do you have one, or are you thinking about picking one up? Let me know down in the comments below. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, the comments, that is subscribed. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.